everybody. Sorry for the delay. Samantha and I were chatty Cathy's beforehand, and so we're starting late. But anyhow, I'm Stephanie. Hi, it's Stephanie's Book Reports, and this is my show, That Novel. And tonight I have with me author, New York Times, USA Today, bestseller, all those bigwig titles there, but Samantha Chase. I have been a long-time reader of Samantha Chase, and so she was gracious enough to come and chat with me because she has a ton of stuff going on. I mean, this woman does not stop. She's like a robot. And
Wait a minute.
So and I was like, would you please come on my show? Since you have so much stuff going on, we need to talk about it.
Where do we even begin?
Right? Exactly. Well, I did want to share with y'all, this is Samantha's latest release. It's called A Sky Full of Stars. Look how pretty this cover is. Pretty. And you can find this sucker everywhere. This one happens to be, this is an ARC. This is an advanced copy. So, it has, like where you can buy it. But yours won't have that kind of thing. And you won't have this little sucker circle on the book either because this is not. Anyway, you get the gist of the cover.
Yep. I love that cover.
Yes, it's pretty. You can find it at all major retailers. Have you seen yourself at Walmart or?
I used to see myself at Walmart a lot. I haven't seen my stuff at Walmart in a while. And that kind of bugs me a little bit because I'm supposed to be there. But I don't know if it's just a territory thing, like just here I'm not seeing it. So if anybody sees my stuff in Walmart, let me know because I'm curious.
Yeah, that's kind of strange. Well, their catalogs, I think I had heard that their catalog, when they're buying season. Oh, Laura says, I love that book. Their buying season is kind of strange, like when they buy. So maybe it's been a hit or miss when your releases have come and with source books and then they're buying.
Yeah, like when I first got signed with Source Books, my stuff was in Walmart all the time. And then as time's gone on, I haven't seen it in a while. Then we got into Target, and my February release, One More Kiss, was in Target, but then that was the only one that was physically there in the store. So you could get it online at Target, but I haven't seen it physically in the stores. So that whole aspect it's just weird to me. I feel like if you're sold on that, if that store is selling you, your book should be there.
Right. Exactly. Put it on the shelf, people.
Right? One or two, it's all I'm asking for. I'm not telling you to I'm not looking to take up all the shelf space, although that would be awesome.
Exactly. You have enough books to do so.
I do. I wish that I could turn the computer so you could see my wall, because I do. I have 5 bookcases that are filled with titles right now. And my husband's like, you're going to have to come to a point where you don't have to have that many copies of every book. And I'm like, but it looks so pretty. They look so pretty on the shelves.
Right, exactly. Do you have my author that I was telling you about, she just sent me her thing. Anyway, it's kind of I'm doing 3 jobs sometimes. like normal, right?
Of course.
Oh, Donna says your office is amazing. I wish I could see, like all those bookshelves, all those Samantha Chase titles on it. Because Samantha Chase, for those of you that don't know, Samantha Chase is a hybrid author. She has traditional published titles and self-published titles. And so she started out as a self-published author, and then she became a hybrid. She has a series, 2 series that are published by Casablanca.
Yep. And, but I'm not doing as much indie as I'd like to, but I think that's gonna change in the next year or two. You'll start seeing a little bit more indie titles by me again. So we'll see.
Yeah, once you get that, well, for those of you that don't know Samantha Chase, she's a writing machine. This woman releases 6 to 8 novels a year.
Sometimes 10. I think we've had a couple of years where there was 10. So actually, I think 2018 is going to be, because Sourcebooks is re-releasing my last 4 backlists books, and they'll release them as duos. So you'll have 2 books from my backlist coming out again in, I think it's April, and then in August, I think. Let me see. Yes, April and August of 2018. That'll end my backlist stuff. That'll all be coming out in paperback for the first time.
Yay!
That's kind of fun. Like, for the stuff that I wrote so long ago, and that was ebook only, like, to be able to just have a physical copy of it is kind of cool. That never gets old to me.
Right? Here's the 5 bookshelves of
That's right.
novels. Yeah.
Some I'll cut back on, but not all of them.
Exactly. Like, I need this in print.
Like, I can't put another bookcase in here, so I am going to have to start letting go a little bit, but not yet.
Well, yeah, it's I mean, how did you decide how many to keep for yourself? It's like, I don't know, because I don't write books, so it's like, but for your personal stash of your own personal titles, how many books do you keep for yourself?
I haven't cut back to that amount yet. I keep a full shelf of all of them. I keep restocking because I like having an inventory here, so that when I do a signing that I have the books here, or if I want to do a giveaway that I have enough books here. But eventually I'll probably cut it back, that I'll keep maybe like 4 to 6 copies of each, just for my own personal, my own collection. Maybe that's silly. Maybe I don't need that many, but I think that would look nice on a shelf too.
Right? Exactly.
I'm all about how it looks on the shelf.
Can you turn your computer screen? Laura says she hasn't been lucky enough to see them either. Can you turn your screen? Can we have a visual of these bookshelves?
There's a lot on my desk, so give me a minute. Let me see what I can do. I don't
move out and move back in again.
Right? I don't want to have anything crashing to the ground. As you can see me moving like 14 piles of stuff. All right, let's see what we could do. Everybody bear with me. Oh, the wires aren't going to let me do it. Oh, that's one of the shelves back there. Can you see?
Oh, look at there.
You see them all? So that is
Did I lose you? Is it frozen or is it just me? It must not be just me. Samantha, you might just have to reconnect. We messed her up with moving the bookshelves. She might have lost the cord. Take 5. She said the plug came out. All right. Well, so anyway, this book came out last month. So you can find A Sky Full of Stars online if you're an ebook reader. And then I'm sure you can find it at like Barnes & Noble, Books A Million. Yeah. And of course, like she said, you can order on or you might can oh, here she comes again, I think. So the other book that I have of hers in my stash is this one. It's Love Walks In. Isn't that pretty? It's I think this is another Shaughnessy book, and this is in a vineyard. Laura probably needs to do this interview because she's read all these things. She could tell you about all of these. But yes, it's another Samantha Chase. This is actually one we gave away last year at Authors in the City. That Sourcebooks was one of our sponsors for Authors in the City. Samantha is one of our founding or our charter authors, whatever. She's been with us every year. And anyway, Sourcebooks donated books to all of our readers when we were in Florida. And so this is where this book came from. And I got stars at RT this year. Yay! So anywho, those are two of Samantha Chase books. And I mean, obviously, we messed her up asking to see her shelves, but she's very gracious to show us that those are both her Shaughnessy from her Shaughnessy series, and we have her Amazon author page. Like everything is linked there, so you can get to her. Let's see, Samantha Chase. You can get to her Amazon author page from there, and the Montgomery Brothers is another series that she has with Sourcebooks, and you can check those out as well. I don't have any of the Montgomerys here. Those are actually the only two. Laura says Hugh is a resort owner in Love Walk Zone. That looks like a vineyard to me. Is that a vineyard? Is that what that is? Did they go visit one? I don't know that I've read a lot of this, or maybe I haven't even read any of the Shaughnessy books. I've read several of the Montgomery Brothers. The very first book that I can remember reading of Samantha Chase's, and she's probably like, what? Let me see if it's still available here on her Amazon author page, because she probably like, Stephanie, don't even talk about that book. It's so long ago. Yep, still there. Catering to the CEO. That is one of my first ones that I ever read by Samantha Chase. And let's see. Well, I don't know when it originally came out. But anyway. It's a cute story. Catering to the CEO. And the main female character there is she's a Spitfire. She didn't take the guy's crap. So anyhow, we're waiting on the cord to be replaced so that she'll come back. Because I don't want to talk about her other stuff until she gets back here. But anyway, if you haven't read Catering to the CEO or any of her stuff, Samantha writes sweet romance. Like her stuff is very, there's a little bit of drama. There's not a whole lot of angst. There might be some in the Montgomery. I don't know. Laura, would you say in the Shaughnessy she has angst in there? I think some in the Montgomery Brothers, but most of it's just a little bit of drama. Her intimate scenes are fade to black. You're not going to get any details there. You just have to use your imagination. And anyway, it's she's almost back. almost ready here. So anyway, if Sorry. I need to stop. Oh, what did I ask you? Does the Shaughnessy series have angst, or is it just drama? I need to get my hair did, y'all. Next week. Does she have any angst in there, or is it just drama? Drama llamas. Because there's most of her stuff just has, without the Montgomerys, mostly just drama. Anyway, they're great reads. Y'all should check them out. She has one that's on sale right now, which we'll get to. She's almost back. I totally messed her up by asking her for that. I won't. She'll never let me live it down. Y'all won't let me live it down. I killed Samantha Chase's computer while interviewing her live on YouTube. I have witnesses. The cord came undone, so we'll get it together. Anyway, she's still trying to get back here as soon as she can. Oh gosh. She can't get her computer to log back in. It's being stubborn shit hard enough time. Trying to get in here. Pre-show. And so having issues. Well, so she has a sale. Let me see. While we are waiting, she has a sale. Let me go back to her Amazon offer page. On Laura, did you say? Oh, it's the Return to You by Samantha Chase. It is currently on sale for $1.99. There's a series. Way to go, Stephanie. A series spinoff about the boys in the band. Well, she'll talk about that, I think, when she gets she's able to get back up here. She has a few things going on, like in her books. She's co-written some books with Noelle Adams, which, when we get her back in here, we could talk about that. She has some Kindle Worlds she's participated in as well. The Kindle Worlds is only currently open to Amazon US customers right now. As far as I know, there was talk about adding them to the UK, but as far as I know, it's only available in the United States. And those are written as part of a Kindle World series. So she has one, let's see. Oh, there she is.
Oh my God. I mean, I turned the computer and I have all of my wires tied up so that I don't trip over them. Mm-hmm. And they're really, really tight. And when I turned it, all the wires popped out of the back of it. So then I had to get them all plugged back in the right way and then start everything up again. And nothing was cooperating. So I was trying to do it on my laptop, and my laptop wouldn't do it either. And I'm like, who can believe this?
Actually, I said it. Y'all saw it here. I killed Samantha Chase's computer.
Thanks, Stephanie. And my career was over.
Oh, it just buckled right here.
I'm so sorry.
That's all right.
I Anna and Laura, actually, for making me do it.
Yes. All your fault. Oh, so they'll take the blame. I'll pawn it off on them. It wasn't me. It wasn't me.
Well, So you just filled the last 7 minutes with saying what a moron I am?
No, we were talking about I was giving them, Laura says, sorry. I was giving them the rundown about how you fade to black. Your stories are sweet. There's drama, not a lot of angst. And then, of course, I went all the way back to Catering to the CEO, which was probably the first book that I reviewed for you. I don't know. First book I read. I don't know. I don't remember if that was my first Samantha Chase book that I read or if it's the first one that I reviewed. But either way, it's the one that sticks in my head the most.
He's getting re-released. That's one of them that's getting re-released in April.
Yay!
He'll finally be in paperback. And I'm hoping to do some heavy edits on him when we do that. Like all of my backlist stuff, we've done fairly mild edits on just to clean it up because my editor that I had back then, I guess, was not very good. So we go back and we clean it up. But this is one that if they would let me, I'd like to do some major rewrites on. So we'll see. We'll see if they let me do it.
Good story. I don't remember where location-wise that book is set, but, she just reminds me of, like, this Southern woman that's not going to take anybody's crap. People just think we're supposed to lay down and take it. Well, sorry, honey. I might talk slow and I might talk with an accent, but that don't mean I'm going to bow down at your feet.
That's right. It's a coastal North Carolina story. And, yeah, that was really what I wanted for her, to just not take anybody's crap. And the funny thing with that book and actually Eye of the Storm, and they'll be re-released together as a duo, both of those books I wrote to be with hopes of being published by the Silhouette Desire line. So I was following how their stories went. So anybody that started reading me later on, it's a very different style than what I write now. So I'm curious how that's going to go.
Back in the day, Samantha Chase wanted to be a Harlequin.
That's all I wanted. Never happened. They haven't even inquired about me, so I don't even think I'm on their radar. So.
Oh, how is that possible? This is kind of funny because, all right, for those of you that are listening, several of you probably, I know Donna and Laura know this story, but I was a reader of Samantha Chase before people knew who Samantha Chase was, I guess. I don't know. At this point, I guess you had you were already in New York Times at this point, but I believe when we first started Authors in the City, putting it together in 2013, and we were given the go-ahead to add people that we wanted on our invitation list. I'm like, Samantha Chase?
You were the first person to ever invite me to a signing. And
yay!
I will love you forever.
And no, I didn't pay her to say that. It's it's really cool to say we were the first people to invite Samantha Chase to a signing. Like, it still blows my mind at that point in your career that nobody had ever invited you to a signing. You can't say that now.
I was so naive about how signings worked, and I was just overwhelmed. It was sort of like taking the country mouse and putting her in the city, and just I was so overwhelmed. And I told you, if you would have kept doing Authors in the City, I would have kept going. I really just because you guys were the first. So
instead we have something else for Samantha Chase to do after Authors in the City is over with, which Samantha and I have already talked about. So, but it's a secret to everybody else for the most part.
Good.
Donna says, "Tell my story. Tell my story." So so like everybody knows Samantha Chase, right? So we're standing around in the lobby, and
I love
Samantha Chase pulls up, and you're in the lobby. I can't remember because there was a couple of people that she wigged out on. But anyway, but this one, and it's continued. This is the only one that has continued every single place we see Samantha Chase.
Donna's awesome like that.
Oh, she comes off the elevator. She says she comes off, and Donna screams. I mean, it's not even like we're talking face to face. I mean, she's like, "Oh my God, it's Samantha Tree!"
And like a dork, I'm like, where? It's like, oh, that's me.
That's me.
It was me.
That's what happens when you use a pen name. You're like, who the heck is?
That was the very first time I was recognized in public. So that was just amazing to me. So see, another reason why I love Office in the City so much. Somebody recognized me.
We're the best. We check off all of these first. Oh, yeah. It's better than the first boyfriend, the first kiss, first, heartbreak first. We have all the good stuff.
This is all the good stuff. And seriously, I mean, that is something that has stayed with me. And Donna just feeds my craziness every time she sees me by doing it. She's moved it onto shirts. So, I mean, really,
Yes, Samantha Chase is the glitter queen. And so, if you know anything, if you didn't know anything about Samantha Chase, now you know she is a glitter queen. Queen.
Love it.
And Donna makes sure that the glitter queen is supplied with glitter every time.
I have a closet shelf full of it from her and Lori, and I don't think that the people in Myrtle Beach were so amused with our glitter obsession, because there was a lot of it all over that hotel.
Yeah. I'm surprised they didn't charge us extra for having to vacuum that mess up.
It made me special every time I came back to the room, because there was just glitter everywhere. I think I'm still washing that off of some of those shirts.
Yeah, I don't doubt it. That mess. I call it art herpes because it keeps on giving.
Oh my God, I love that.
It never goes away. That's crap where you can never. I just am like, anyway.
I love that.
Laura said, I loved meeting her at AITC since, that was our first one, since that's the only one Laura's been to since we started.
What in the world, Laura? What do we got to do? What do we got?
I know, right?
Do we have to have...
She's coming back to New York. She's dragging her feet again.
Laura, do we have to have dinner together? Is that it? Would that draw you out to come to the next Office in the City? What do I got to do?
For real.
What? We have to go
eat dinner at the burger place in the hotel. You don't even have to leave the building. You eat dinner downstairs.
They have good burgers in that hotel.
They do. That place is amazing.
They did a burger on an English muffin that they supposedly won like awards for, and I'm like, seriously, a burger on an English muffin? That's your award-winning claim to fame? But it was worth it.
Somebody must have thought it was good.
Yeah. So yeah, Laura, get your butt to the next Office in the City, and we will have a meal together, you and I.
Can y'all see this?
Yeah.
Maybe you can't. This is Laura's. I don't know. It's not doing very well. That's Laura's Samantha Chase collection, and then here's her signed.
Oh my goodness.
Her signed Samantha Chase. Love walks in. So she's sending me good stuff there.
What do I got to do? What do I got to do?
I know. Well, she says that would be amazing. So
do I have to lure you with books? No, I'm luring you with a meal, Laura. I'm luring you with a meal.
A meal. You got to come to Authors in the City to cash it in.
That's right. That's right. All I'm saying. And Donna, if you're wondering why there isn't a meal for you, we shared a sandwich together. We shared a beautiful sandwich in my kitchen.
Right? Exactly. You made it to Samantha Chase house.
You've met my dog. Pretty much like that's the ultimate Samantha Chase experience.
Yes, the little pug. Y'all will have to just see. She's cute. She's a little adorable little thing.
Let me see if it's up. Let me look over here. I have a new giveaway that is going on over on my official page, and Maylene is essentially the like the spokesperson of it. Yes, she is up. So if you go to my Facebook page, which is the Samantha Chase Fan Club page, you'll see that my post from 8 o'clock is for a new giveaway that's going on, and Maylene it's a picture of her wearing a tiara. Yeah, because I have that much time on my hands, and I post my dog. Awkward.
And she sits for it. She sits for it.
Every once in a while she does. Sometimes she gives me a lot of grief about it, but every once in a while I get her to cooperate, and she always looks terrified. She's a little bit like, what are you doing? Why? What
is this thing on my head? What are you doing to me, Mom?
She looks so cute. She looks so cute.
Well, in the picture, she's adorable. I mean, I'm sure she is adorable in person, too. But
she is. Let's see. I don't know if you could see it.
Barely. There's a glare. Like my phone. Oh, there she is.
There she is. So yeah, Maylene the Pug is she's doing a promo for the Enchanted Bridal series. So if you get a chance, go over and check that out because it's funny.
Donna says you got to give her lamb chops. So
yes, the giant lamb chop. That's her thing. Because she's a weirdo, my dog.
But she's super cute.
She is super cute. You know what? I was in RWA all last week, and every day when I called home and talked to my husband and son, I was like, how's the dog? Does she miss me? She misses me, doesn't she? They're like, you don't even care about us. And I'm like, you can take care of yourself. She's this helpless little dog missing me.
Because Mommy's not there to baby her.
Exactly. She was very sad.
So yeah, she was hamming it up with the boys. She's like, I'm the girl of the house this week.
That's right. She was the diva that week. I don't think she wore her tiara while I was gone, but still.
She probably wouldn't sit still for the boys to put it on her head.
Yeah, probably. So cute.
The lamb chop is bigger than
It is. It is. And she carries it everywhere, so what are you going to do?
Yeah, right. Whatever works for her.
So what else are we talking about tonight other than Donna?
I did not talk about any. I didn't talk about the brides, and I didn't talk about any Christmas.
Okay.
So which one you want to talk about first?
Let's talk Christmas. Let's talk Christmas.
We're just to die. Like I just waiting for the date so I can schedule my DVR.
Oh my gosh, you and me both. I've hurt myself every time, even the smallest announcement from them. I jump up and down, I run around the house, and then I hurt myself.
Like, I'm crazy.
We're just waiting on some final stuff. I mean, Entertainment Weekly announced it, that coming straight from Hallmark, that the Christmas Cottage is in the 2017 lineup. So we're just waiting on when it will air, when it's gonna film. I mean, I'm kind of hoping that I get to go for a day on the set. Like that's a dream. But I don't know if they'll have me back behind protective, police. Please.
You have no say in what your book looks like on screen.
Come over this way. Stay back. But yeah, I mean, that's wild. That was something that I wanted pretty much as soon as I published that book. I was like, this I want to see that on Hallmark. And it took so long to make that happen, and mainly because my agent didn't think that it was something that we should do just yet, and the production company came to us, so that made me feel pretty good, that I didn't have to go to them, that they reached out to us first.
Exactly.
So
And then you just be like, Mr. Agent Man, you should listen to me sometimes.
I'm going to tell him that tomorrow on phone.
Exactly. You could say, you need to watch this YouTube thing I did last night, because, hello. You're like, y'all are crazy.
I would love, I would really love to see how the experience goes, because I've heard it. I've heard the pros and the cons. Like I've met with authors where they've had a really great experience when their book is turned into a movie, and I've heard some not so great experiences when your book is turned into a movie. So I'm very hopeful that because it's Hallmark that it's going to be a good experience, But it's a hard thing because everybody wants to know how much of a say you have, and I don't really have a say. I mean, they could change where the story takes place. They could change character names, and I think that they already did change the hero's name, because in the Entertainment Weekly blurb, my hero had a different name. So I was a little disappointed by that.
Yeah, it's not very nice. Well, I mean, obviously the world saw that. If you read, that giant successful trilogy that everybody started, like people like Laura started reading again because of that giant trilogy that came out about 4 years ago. It was just made into movies. Well, when the first one came out last year on the big screen, everybody was like, oh my God, it's a horror. She had no say in that one, but the second one and the third, she obviously had a big say.
Right.
So I guess it would be, but you could. So here's another. I don't know if y'all never knew Samantha Chase before. She is. I would say she's friends, but anyway, at least acquaintances with another author that's like owns her own freaking town.
What?
Her whole town. The woman owns the whole town. Anyway, she has several of hers have been made into Lifetime movies, right? She's never been on Hallmark, has she?
I don't think so. I don't think that her stories. I think that her stories are a little bit steamy for Hallmark. I don't think that she's ever done like a Christmas book or anything like that. So I think her books that were made into movies had a little bit more of like intrigue and a little sexier sort of a thing.
Yes, she doesn't. Well, not as fade to black as you
right
do on yours, kind of thing. And she has a lot of. Sometimes her stuff. She has a lot of suspense. So I guess it must be Lifetime. So maybe, I don't know. I mean, I know she's had Lifetime movies, but I don't know if the experience would be similar.
I don't know, and it's one of the, like, where she's concerned. That's sort of like, I don't want to compare myself to her. Like, I don't want to, because I'm signing with her again in November. I don't want to be like, so, what was your movie experience like? Because this is what my, like, I don't consider myself even remotely,
on the same plateau.
Like, that would just be weird. But I would be curious to know what she thought about the experience, even way back when, So we'll see how it all goes. I'm excited for it, but I think most of my friends and family, they have a much different view of this than I do. Like they're thinking that it's a way bigger thing, like that I'm going to have like a producer's chair or something. And it's like, no, pretty much. Maybe I'll get a DVD copy of it. I don't know. Either way, I'm excited because that's a dream. That's a total dream come true.
Yeah, to see your book come to life. So everybody will have to be checking out the Hallmark channel to see. Well, I mean, of course, Samantha will announce when she has more of a date when they're going to start airing the Christmas Cottage. And that was that's a self-published title. It's not a traditional title. It's self-published.
It was self-published, and then Source Books bought it as part of my backlist when I signed with them. So, but I kept the movie rights. So, if that means anything.
Well, there you go.
Not just a
right? Exactly. That was a smart move on your part. Yeah, because yeah, that's kind of cool. I mean, really, it's good for them and for you because then they can still promote the Christmas Cottage, for sale when the movie comes out, and then
exactly. Exactly. So, I mean, all around, everybody would win. Everybody would benefit from it. And, you know, just, I'm not a patient person. So, like, all of this sitting around and waiting is painful for me.
Yes.
Now I'm just like, do we hear from them yet? Do we hear from them yet? And I can't be like, I was told I can't be like that. So.
Yeah, that is the hardest thing with this industry. And a lot of readers don't understand that because we, as a reader, we just read the books. We don't know anything about the behind the scenes part of it. And when you get to be in the behind the scenes part of it, like we are, now it's like these people, I mean, molasses pours faster than these people work.
I don't know, like, I don't know if I've ever shared with you, but like when I signed with Source Books, I had the first book that they were going to publish. I had that book written. So I was under the assumption that once the ink was dry on our contract, you know, and I give you this manuscript, there would be like maybe a 3-month turnaround. And they were like, no, like 10 months later, this will come out. And I was like, what do you mean? Like, the book is done. Readers are waiting for it. And it's a huge process. And a lot of times you hand in that book and nobody even they give you a date that it has to be in by, but nobody even looks at that book for like another, like 2 months sometimes. So I'm like, why did I have to hand it in that much sooner? I don't understand, but.
Yeah, so they can get it in the rotation for the editor.
Yeah. So it's just, again, it's if you're not a patient person, traditional publishing is frustrating because it's a lot of hurry up and wait.
Mm-hmm. You turn it in, you get it on the editor's editing schedule, then you go through like hurry, and then you turn it in. And then, of course, at that point, once the editor, I think typically what I understand it to be once the first round of edits are done is when they put it on the publishing schedule. And that can take 11, you know, close to a year, 10 to 12 months, you know, from when that happens. Because they've already, you know, they're fighting everybody else's stuff, material at the same time. It's just,
well, like when I signed with Source Books, they signed me for 12 new books, and then they bought my 16 books on my backlist. And we sat down, there were 5 of us around a table working out the publishing schedule. So, you know, it was mind-boggling. Like I was thinking to myself, how are we thinking out all, like it was 2013, 2014, and we were already planning into 2018. And I was thinking, holy crap, like, this just seems like such a long way out, but we've pretty much stuck to it. I mean, the book I'm writing right now is the 3rd book in the Band series, and this is the first book that I'm asking them to change either the publishing date or to not make it a holiday book. Like originally it was going to come out in October of 2018, which would have meant that that's when they do all their holiday books. And I've asked for it not to be a holiday book. So we'll see if they're going to change the month or they're just going to let me put out a non-holiday book in October. So we're going to be talking about that in the next week or 2. So we'll see. But I'm pretty much, I have my publishing schedule with them through the end of 2019.
oof.
Long way out. Totally long way out. It's exhausting.
Yeah, and then probably by the time you get to that book that publishes in 2019, you've written it so long ago that you don't even remember what the book is. I mean, you might remember what the book is about, but, you know, for the most part, you got to go back and think, now, what did I do in this story?
Well, the good thing that happens in traditional publishing that I didn't do a whole lot of with my indie titles is, you know, the PR department sets up like blog tours and that sort of thing. So it almost forces you back into the story before the book releases again, because you have to answer all these questions and they want little blurbs and little excerpts. So it refreshes your memory enough. And the book that as the writer you enjoy, because, you know, when it's not, it makes it that much harder to have to get back into the story. You're just like, I want to be done.
I'm over it.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, I even have one of my authors just finished her first round of edits for her first traditional book she sold, and she's like, I hate this book. You know, like, you're only on the first round of edits.
Yeah.
Guess what?
my October release, I had to rewrite 4 times. And by the time I handed it in, I sent it in and I said, don't ask me to rewrite anything. I don't even care about this couple anymore. I hope they get divorced. I don't even care.
No ATA for them.
Yeah, I am just done. And that's what happens sometimes. You spend so much time with these characters that you're ready to move on to something else. I don't even know, that couple I hated by the time I was done. I hated them, but most of the time you're just ready to move on to the next thing. And to have to keep going back, it's frustrating, because a lot of times if you're working on multiple projects, when they keep sending you back more edits to do, it takes you out of the story that you're currently working on and making you go back to this one. And then you try to get back into the story again and here's some more edits for you to do. So it can be frustrating.
Mm-hmm. Annoying. And your brain has to switch tracks, and it's kind of hard to do that when you're focused on particular characters, and then you've got to go back and remember. It can be hard.
It is. It's like at one point we were doing a lot of stuff. We were working on backlist stuff that was getting reissued and 2 current books that were getting edited. And I had 4 books that I was working on at one time, and I said, I said something's got to give here because I can't do this. I can't keep track of 4 sets of characters. I don't know what's happening in each book anymore, and I'm afraid I'm going to confuse something. So, they sent me a box of cupcakes, of gourmet cupcakes. and we worked through it. But yeah, sometimes that's what it gets like. It just all happens at once, and you got to just do what you can to get through it. So, frustrating but true. Like real world author problems. Oh, I have too many books to edit.
Right? Exactly. Well, especially when you're like you, one that writes books so quickly, you've got more than one that you're writing, plus then editing, and then, because you have your source books, and you have your co-writes, and you have your Kindle World. So it's like, what's going on here?
Yeah, I had vowed that 2018 was not going to be like that, and then I went and did it again anyway. So next year I'll have a ton of stuff again. 2019, you're hearing it first. 2019 is the year I'm hoping to do a little bit less. So we'll see if that actually happens. Who knows? So
probably not, because you drive yourself crazy.
I would. I have things that I want to do. I just don't have the time to do. I get approached about projects and to co-write stuff or be part of a series, and I just can't. I just don't have the time. And last year, when I committed to the Kindle Worlds, it was because I was like, oh, these are novellas, so they're quick to write, but you still do have to write them, and you still have to edit them, and you still have to market them and promote them. And, I took on a little bit too many of them, but they were all fun to do. So I don't regret that at all, but it was, at the time, I was a little twitchy, a little lack.
Stressing yourself out.
Yes. So, and
yes, but then after this year, you have college to pay for. So then you'll be like, oh my God, I can't stop writing. I got college tuition to pay for.
They got senior portraits were so traumatic today. They were
I saw it took 2 hours. What the heck were they doing for 2 hours?
Outfit changes with a reluctant teenage boy who didn't even want to be there. And they were like, okay, now you have to change into this outfit. Now you have to change into that outfit. Now you're in this studio. Now you're in that studio. I mean, I wanted lunch at that point. I was like, look, there is a cheesecake factory up the road calling my name. Take his picture and get me out of here. But when they put him in his tuxedo, I cried. I was like, look at my baby.
Yep.
I don't like it. I know it's a fact of life, but I don't like it. I want him to stay smaller a little bit longer. And not.
Yours is graduating high school. Mine is going to kindergarten.
Oh my gosh. You know what? I cried really hard on the first day of kindergarten. That's a biggie.
Right? My mom's like, how are you going to handle yourself? Donna's even like, how are you going to handle yourself? I'm going to be like, yeah, I'll probably be a mess. I can't even talk about it now. Well, it's hormones are my issue right now. But like for the most part, I'm like gonna be quiet. I can do some work. I don't have anybody laying on me. But then I'm thinking, well, then I won't have to worry. Like I won't. It's gonna be so different because I can go places by myself. I can do whatever. I can work. I don't have to, like feed somebody else. It's just going to be it's going to be different, but it'll be good. I just hope he does well.
You're going to be running with scissors all over the house and just like, woo, freedom, freedom. I'm telling you.
Right.
The first few days, you'll be sad. By that second week of school, you're going to be like, thank you, God. This is awesome.
Right. Well, the first week of school is only 3 days.
Okay.
So, or the first week of school, 3 days.
Yeah.
Yeah. Donna said I could walk around naked. Mm-mm.
No.
No, not happening.
No.
But my name is not Lori.
Wow, so we learned something new about Lori tonight.
Right? She hates clothes. But yeah, it's funny. She's like, you make me get dressed. Yes, I do. Yes, please. We appreciate clothing. In the first grade, you'll be like, get out. Right now, I'm like, I told my daughter the other day, I know why parents have always said, I hate when school is out, because really, I'm ready for you to go back to school.
It really, it does happen. You do. You just get to that point where you're like, is summer vacation over yet? Like, I'm just ready for this to be done.
Exactly. And I mean, maybe if I worked outside of my home, it wouldn't be so bad, but I don't. I'm home with them all day long, every day, and it's like, I'm going to need a break.
It's going to open up a whole new world for you, but you're allowed to cry those first few days.
Oh, good. I give myself permission. Yeah, Laura says she's going to be getting on all of her author peaks because she'll be able to do so much agenting. Yes. I'll be cranking out those books. Laura, see, and the last time Laura published anything was January. 3 weeks, Laura. You better hurry up.
What in the world?
She's been slacking.
Right? Don't be
She's been slacking. You got to hurry up, Laura. You got 3 weeks. School start.
Snap to it. Stop right now.
She'll be like, I'm not saying a word again. But yeah, so it should be interesting. I should be able to get lots more work done when the kids are at school. But we'll see.
It's funny. I mean, I homeschooled my older son from from 4th grade through 12th grade. But my younger son was always in public school. So, I mean, once my older son was out of the house and the younger son was in school, I mean, I don't know, like I kept thinking I would be so much more productive because nobody was around, like that I had this big block of time now where nobody was home. I could write all during the day. But because I worked full time for the first few years that I was publishing, my creativity cycle was at night. So I'd sit down, I would play solitaire, I'd play Scrabble on the computer, I'd do all sorts of other ridiculous stuff, everything except writing. So only recently have I gotten into, actually writing during the day. So, I got a lot of writing done last week at RWA, believe it or not. I wrote at RWA.
That's a plus.
Yes. That was a perk to being away for sure. So.
It's amazing. Like, I've never been to RWA. That's one on my list to go to. Well, I just joined this past year, and I didn't go to RWA this year, which I should have, but I didn't. And maybe next year, since it'll be in Denver. There's a lot of places I need to go to. Like, did you know? You probably didn't know, but there's a New York Writes Fair next year in New York, just after RT, and I want to go to that so bad. I'm like, telling my husband, I'm like, do you mind if I disappear for a week to Reno and then come back and then go to New York City?
Yeah. And how well did that go?
He just looked at me. I said, well, my mom says she might, she would check her schedule to see if she could come help you with the kids.
Nice.
Because I really think I need to be, and then I'd be like, can I go to Denver in July?
Now, see, I know I'm not going to RT. I'm not going to Reno, but I'm on the fence about RWA. I don't know. As of right now, I'm like, no, I'm not doing it. I'm not going. But I don't know. Denver is nice. I don't think I'd mind a week in Denver.
Yeah, and in July, it's not going to be freezing. So.
Because let me tell you something. Florida in July, whoever thought that having a conference in Disney World in July, it was not even remotely pleasant. It was so hot. So, yeah, Denver is way more appealing.
Yeah. And this spoken from the Disney Queen here.
Do you know, I didn't go to any of the parks except for that Sourcebooks party. I didn't go into any of the parks because it was that hot. So, yeah, if the Disney...
It had to be disgusting. You didn't go to any park?
Nowhere. I wasn't even, interested. I went to a bunch of the resorts. So, we had dinner one night at the Floridian. We had dinner one night at the Animal Kingdom Lodge, and I went walking along the boardwalk one night. But other than that, no parks. So it was a whole new Disney World for me.
Donna says New York is going to be hot. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be as hot as it is here. I mean, the hotel in New York is right there on the water. We'll have a breeze.
Yes, absolutely. And, I don't know. There's crowds in New York, but it's not the same as crowds in Disney. In crowds in Disney, when you're trying to get on rides, you're just at a standstill sometimes, just melting in the heat.
For hours.
Yeah. In New York, you're just walking and you can go in and out wherever you want to. It's a little bit more freedom to move around. So.
And they have air conditioning.
Yeah. So I think that New York will be, anything is better than Florida in July.
Maybe not on the subway, but they have air conditioning.
Yeah. That's right. That's what cabs are for.
Exactly. No subway in the summertime, but you can take a cab wherever you want to go.
Exactly. So yeah, I don't think that Reno is definitely not on the table for me, but Denver is a possibility. I'd rather save up and do big with New York for Authors in the City.
Yes, which of course we have stuff up our sleeves. I mean, people just need to, they're going to be like, Samantha, Chase, and Stephanie have all these things. Yes, we have all these things.
We know a lot, and we don't share. We don't share to the right.
Forget about it.
So yeah, so that is what is going on with me. I'm writing a ton. I'm waiting to hear from Hallmark. Got a ton of books coming out. Waiting for Authors in the City.
A year from now. But you, in between here and in that year, and here we go. The very first time. So, y'all, I mentioned earlier that author that owns her own city, her own town in the middle of nowhere. She has this really popular, teeny tiny hole-in-the-wall bookstore. It's called Turning the Page. And it's a pretty cool little store.
Yeah, no air conditioning in that store. I won't do a July signing there either.
It was hot. When we went up there the last time, was that June? May?
It's July.
It was July? It was hot.
Yeah.
It was hot. And well, I guess you have a Barnes & Noble signing in a couple of weeks, and then in November you're going back to Turning Page.
Yep. Exactly. And then I'm going to be up in, there's one more in between there. So I'll be in Delaware at the end of the month. October, I'll be in Florida for Shameless. Then I'll be at Turn the Page in November. And then I'll be in Boston in April. and then you guys in August. So
sweet. Are you doing? Is the Boston North Shore? What used to be North Shore?
yeah, now it's Talk Books.
Talk.
Books awesome
I
event.
couldn't remember. I was like, what are they doing today?
Oh, and I'm going to be in Raleigh this weekend for the For Love of Books Raleigh event. That's going to be right here in downtown Raleigh, which I really wish you were coming to. I thought for sure you would have been here for that. Just to check it out, scope it out.
Yeah, and my daughter has a birthday party on Saturday here, one of her classmates. I mean, I'll be there when you're not there. We're going to swap places. You're going
I know.
to Delaware, and I'm going to be in Raleigh.
No, the Delaware one should be fun because, Sarah Humphreys, A.M. Madden, Joanne Schwem, and we're all going to be there, and it's going to be like just.
That store is not going to know what hit it.
I know, and they are the ones that sought us out, so we are not responsible for what happens now. Shenanigans that happen is not our fault. They should have known this beforehand.
Well, your glitter supplier is going to. She says she's going to be there, so you'll have to warn them of the glitter. We'll have some glitter.
Wait.
Be prepared to be vacuuming for days.
That's right.
Millennium.
I love how she kept the glitter to just her shirt for the Turn the Page signing last year.
OMG, Samantha Chase.
I mean, who wouldn't want that greeting them everywhere they go?
Right? Exactly. And it's funny because, Turning the Page. So for those of you that don't know, Turning the Page is owned by Nora Roberts. Okay, she owns the whole town of Boonesboro. And really, like the whole town. And so Samantha is sitting like right next to Nora Roberts, and I'm just like, my eyes, I'm sure, got like this big around when I got into the room, because when she was signing at Turning the Page, we drove up for the weekend to see her at the signing, because that was a big deal. First time signing it at Turning the Page.
It was huge for me.
It was, there were some pretty big authors. I mean, there was Maya Banks, there was Karen Erickson, and you, and, well, Karen Erickson / Monica Murphy, you, and Nora. And there's some others that were in there that weren't as well known. And, yeah, Donna said, I walked past Nora just to get the Samantha. I don't even think Donna even paid Nora Roberts any mind. She was like, tunnel vision on Samantha Chase.
I know I appreciate it. I don't know if Nora so much appreciated that, but I appreciated that. It was, the funny thing is, when I got to the store that morning, because I stayed, she has the bed and breakfast right across the street. And for anybody who doesn't know about Nora Roberts' town, read her Boonesboro trilogy, because essentially that trilogy is like a brochure for the town. Okay, and bed and breakfast. So the bookstore is right across the street from the bed and breakfast, and I went across, and the store manager, who I had met the previous day, she tells me, she's like, come on, I'm going to set you up in the back. You have some pre-orders, some online orders to sign. So I said, all right. And I walk in the back, and there's these two women signing stuff, and I just sort of like glanced and waved and went and did my thing. And then I realized that one of those women was Nora Roberts. So like New York, I was just like, yeah, whatever. Hey, yeah. One of those moments. I'm really mad about stuff like that. I just,
oh my gosh.
I totally don't realize when I'm in the room with the biggest name in romance. So yeah, I'm like a little Magoo, little Mr. Magoo.
That's all right. Well, I mean, really, you don't expect her to be there. Like, you would think she is like, Nora Roberts. She's at the top of the pyramid, at the top of the food chain, and then there's like everybody else. So you don't expect them to put her in the room. I mean, with everybody else at the same time signing stuff and
exactly. So that was just, it was just so exciting. I mean, everything about it was just like, it was a once in a lifetime thing. I mean, it'll be exciting going back in November too, but like going there for the first time, it's a little like, holy crap, I'm in the room with Nora Roberts. You know what I mean? Like, how often does that happen?
Exactly. And sitting right next to her too. I mean, granted, that was her son, right? Sitting in between the two of you, but you were sitting right next to Nora.
That poor guy, what he must have to put up with. I know just what he put up with some of the people that I had two girlfriends who drove up with me, and they just came in and made like, oh my God, and I thought, oh, please don't make a scene. Please don't make a scene.
They were so nice. They were so nice. Well, obviously Donna and I went behind the table to give Samantha a hug and chit chat, and I got to meet Monica/Karen the same. I don't know which of her real name, if they're both Pins. I don't know, but she was sitting right on the right hand side of Samantha Chase, and Nora Roberts on the left hand side. And so, I've got these armful of books because I'm buying a crap ton load of Nora Roberts books for my mother-in-law. And then I had Maya Banks' book. And then, and so I realized that Monica Karen, that's Karen, is sitting right next to me at the Chase. Like I'm making my little round, chatty, and Nora is laughing at me. Like when I get to her, she is laughing at me. Like she must think we're all crazy.
I'm sure she has seen it all. I mean, I am sure that nothing surprises her anymore. And she is probably one of the most gracious authors and human beings I have ever met. And I think that every author should try and emulate that, because I have met some other big names who are nowhere near as gracious, and that leaves a very negative taste in everything about it. Like there are certain authors that I've met who I will never read again because
right.
they had such nasty attitudes and just a very
entitlement complexes.
Yeah. So I know as a peer for that to bother me, it bothered me as a reader, just not even looking at it as this is somebody doing the same thing as I am. I'm a reader, and now I won't read your stuff again because I think they're just nasty.
Right. And I mean, and here sits this woman that owns a freaking town. She has literally, she owns the whole town. So you would think she has every reason to be pretentious and snobby and stuck up, and my stuff don't stink. You have no choice if you are in that town. If you want to sleep or eat or drink or shop in that town, she is making money off of you.
And you don't even care because you're just like, it's just such a cute damn town. You just want to buy stuff. I was last week at RWA. Kimberly Kincaid and Avery Flynn were telling me, because they live up in that area, not like super close, but their local RWA chapter gets to go to Nora's house. Okay. And Nora's hosted lunches at her house, like she's out in the yard weeding, and that, and these girls get to, these writers get to go and hang out with her for an afternoon. So they've been in Nora Roberts' house. So I'm considering a move. I'm considering a move to that area and joining that local RWA.
Right? Exactly. Because it would be intimidating, but then again, you're like, she had to start somewhere too,
Yeah.
That woman can crank out some stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I think that the fact that she has been doing this for so long, and think of all the things that she's seen, all the different trends in publishing, and she's just stayed true to who she is. I think that in itself right there speaks volumes. She's not chasing the trends. She's not trying to be somebody else. She just is who she is, and she's really good at it.
Right. And she has she writes in a lot of different categories. I mean, she's always romance, but she has paranormal, she has suspense, she has contemporary. Those three alone are worlds from each other, literally. And then, but she's done it and done it successfully.
Okay, thank you.
You're being summoned.
Just
The
my office door to let me know that everybody's upstairs now, so that I don't have to be like barricaded in my office. The dog's not going to come in and snort all.
she's not going to come and take her.
No. Not
yeah. So I mean, oh, my herd is on the way home. What was I going to say about that? Oh, but definitely you have to read the Boonesboro, because she literally like encompasses all the. I mean, she has paranormal in there. She has the suspense. She has the romance. You know, I mean, and you can like pinpoint from that story. You're standing there in the street, like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh.
I did that all over the inn. Like I did a video walking through the inn, and I was like, oh my God, there's the tile floor that she talked about in this book. And oh my God, there's the bathtub that she talked about in that one. I almost drowned in one of those bathtubs. They're so damn big. Like a big copper tub, but like when you're sitting in it, like it was up to here. Like if I leaned back like that to the top. Like,
yeah, you would have drowned for sure.
So it was spectacular, and it's just one of those things that, you know, as a Nora Roberts fan, it's the ultimate experience. That's like going to Disney World, you know. And my mother-in-law was supposed to come with me last summer for the signing, and my father-in-law got ill and she couldn't come. And my mom wanted to go with me, and I was like, you're not a Nora Roberts fan. You're not going to appreciate this. Like, you have to be a fan to truly appreciate it. So I didn't bring her.
That's home.
She did.
Yeah. Because really, if you don't, exactly, like you said, if you've not read and you can't, it's magical.
Yeah, you can't appreciate it unless you've read the book. And really, what I realized after going there was essentially those 3 books, they're literally a brochure for the town that she happened to throw a romance into, because so many details are just exactly what the town is. Like, it just describes that, like you said, everything to a T. So, yes, I'll be back there in November for a girls' night out. On
Yay!
Thursday, November 16th. So that should be fun, you know. So I don't know if you're coming to that one. Like I know you said that Donna's going, but I don't know if you're going to drive up for that. It's a Thursday night, so it's a school night.
Yeah, it's a school night. What did you say it was? November when?
November 16th. Yeah.
The week before Thanksgiving.
Yes.
So I know I'm out of town the first weekend of that month. I'm going be in Houston or Dallas. Oh, Donna says there's an age limit.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm going to Traveling Bookshelf in Dallas. I have 2 of my authors are signing there.
Fun.
And they've asked for me to come out.
That's cool. That's cool.
Dallas, where I come. I love Dallas. It's pretty.
I didn't get to really see too much of it at RT that one year. They kind of warned you, like, hey, don't go out walking by yourself. So I spent the better part of that week inside the hotel. Desperate for
yeah. Well, it depends on which side of town you're on, I guess. But there's like a little city inside this downtown area. There's like a little that of course I was never in Dallas by myself anyway. It was me and one of my other friends, and so we would always walk around together. But yeah, but it's not that safe place, but it's really cool to go. I love Dallas.
Oh yeah, you know, we went and we were literally, that hotel was like just a couple of blocks away from the book depository. I mean, when I did go out, I got to walk along the route, you know, where when President Kennedy was assassinated. So you got to see all that stuff. But other than that, I was in that hotel that whole week. So I'm getting a little more daring now. When I go on these trips, I actually step outside a little bit more.
Oh yes, so Donna's wanting to know, is there an age limit for girls' night out? She wants to bring her daughter who's 18.
I don't think that there's an age limit. And I think that 18 would be totally acceptable. I mean, we're not doing anything crazy. None of us write anything really. I don't know what she does with these things. Like, I don't know what the schedule is like. I don't think that it's like a typical signing where we're behind tables the whole time. I think that they've got like snacks out and, you know, and drinks, and it's more like a hangout than anything else. So now I get to hang out with Nora Roberts. I'll be a little more aware of who she is if I go into the back room this time. Pay more attention.
Yes.
No.
Well, at least you know what she looks like in
Yes.
person. I mean, her picture looks very similar, but she's a little younger, maybe, or it's photoshopped.
I like to think that she was just younger back then, you know, when that picture was taken. But either way, I'm more aware of her now, so I will be sure to greet her this time around.
Hi, Nora. Yeah.
You know what the cool thing is
Do you call her Nora, or do you call her Miss Roberts?
Nora. I did call her Nora. And, you know, the funny thing is, like, I bet you I could go up to her and be like, Nora, so good to see you again. And whether she remembers me or not, she'll make me feel like she remembers me and that she'd only seen me a week ago. Because she's that good. She's that classy.
Yes.
Bit of a fangirl thing going on.
You always love it when people, I mean, I try to do that, and this is like people that are seeing this, I try to do that when I go to signings and stuff, places, you know, people are like, Stephanie, and I'm like,
yeah.
You know, like, hi. You know, you kind of have to do that. Well, I mean, you see so many people at these things, you can't quite remember, who are you? You know, where did I meet you? Where do you belong? And and since it's different places, not everybody's in the same spot. You don't, yeah, it's kind of hard. But I do like it when people do that and aren't like rude, like, do I know you?
Yeah. I had, at the literacy signing at RWA on Saturday, the very first person to come to my table is an author whose work I love. But for whatever reason, like, I couldn't have told you what she looked like. I don't think I'd ever seen a picture of her before. Her name is Laura Moore, and she's written some great, like, little more women's fiction with romantic elements, sort of a thing. And she was the first person to come to my table on Saturday, and I'm just chatting with her, and she picks a book and she asked me to sign it, and I looked up her name tag and I was like, holy crap, like, you're Laura Moore. I had never seen her before, but it was like, what a thrill. And so sometimes you just don't know. Maybe you haven't met them before, you know. But yeah, Nora would just be very classy about that and just pretend that she remembered me.
She's yeah. I mean, if there's anybody in this business to be a highlight to meet, you know, I'm sure as an author, but definitely as a reader, she's definitely one of those people that is like high on the.
And she talks to everybody that comes into the store. I mean, if you're there to get a book signed, she's talking to you. You know, she's not one of those that just signs and you keep moving. I mean, so many people that come in there, she knows them. She talks to them. She interacts with them. She knows their families. So, just very cool. I think that we've proved our fandom to Nora Roberts tonight.
Yes, sorry. It's kind of hard not to. She's, you know, when you are a fan of Nora Roberts, I mean, I fanned all over Samantha Chase while you were home.
And I did love every second of it.
Yes, sorry. Yes. I mean, really, y'all just have to read Samantha Chase. I mean, like I said, it's kind of weird to me that nobody had ever invited you to a signing before we invited you to Authors in the City. And I'm like, how would anybody not invite Samantha Chase? What's wrong with these people?
I still don't get invited to a lot of things. And I think it's because everybody looks at me like I'm a sweet contemporary author, even though I don't like using that phrase because I feel like that implies that, like, nothing is happening in my books. And I mean, like, the stuff fades to black, but I mean, I do have enough that I don't know. The word sweet just bugs me sometimes because people make it like it's a bad thing. And so I guess I started looking at it that way. And when you go to a lot of these signings, it's a lot more of the sexier stuff. You have the cover models walking around. You have all these very sexy posters. And then I'm like, there's my sweet little covers, you know. You know, like, where is this? You know, covers like this, you know, where it's, yeah, there you go. So when I could start promoting this guy, he's the one I can't wait to start promoting. He's my February release. Yeah. I want to bite him. I really just want to bite him. Cannot wait. But yeah, I think that I don't get invited to some of these things because I'm a little bit tamer. Like my books aren't. I say it all the time, and I truly mean it. My books are never going to be the one that like people are waiting up at midnight to like get. There's not a lot of angst. There's not a lot of, I don't know. I don't think that these stories generate that kind of energy from a reader. But if you want to feel good, if you want a feel good story, that's when you come to me. So am I ever going to be somebody that skyrockets to the #1 on the New York Times? Probably not. But I think that I've got, I'm happy where I am. I've got some longevity in me. So
definitely. Well, and everybody needs like that break for a while. I mean, I read a ton of stuff, and I, like paranormal all the way to contemporary, contemporary romance. And sometimes you just have to have that break. And, I mean, like right now, the story that I'm reading now and the last book that I finished just before this, it has a lot of sex scenes in it. A lot of sex scenes. And I'm like,
yeah.
Just scrolling through because I'm like, I don't really care. Get me to the dialogue and speak Get on with it. Like not 10 pages worth of sex here, people. I mean, but some people eat that stuff up. I love those kind of stories at some point, but right now, at the mood that I'm in currently, I'm just like, what.
I think, and I agree with that. I think sometimes you're just more in the mood for it than others, and sometimes it's like, okay, this is a little overkill. Like, it doesn't have to be 10 pages of it. Like maybe this could have been done in 5, or and I like watching the interaction, the dialogue, the seeing what the conflict is with the couple. Like I like seeing that develop.
I'm more of a conflict. Don't give me a whole lot of description. Just let's have some. I'm a people person. I want to see that development, that interaction. I want to. You don't have to tell me 10 pages later that the grass was green. I got it. Let's move on.
Yeah, I actually stopped reading someone who used to be a favorite author of mine because I felt like that's what it was getting, like that she was too descriptive. There was too much about background stuff and not a lot about the couples. And after a while, I'm like, you probably could have cut 100 pages out of this book just by getting rid of so much of the description. And I know that there are some people that must love that, but that's not me. I like a fast-paced story where there's something going on every page, whether it's just dialogue or just advancing, getting to know the character.
And you can definitely find that in a Samantha Chase novel. I mean, they are very quick to read. To me, your books are quick to read. You're gonna. I mean, I can read them in a day. A night or whatever. It's not going to take me long to read them because there's a lot of interaction. You have to keep going because you want to be like, oh no, she didn't. Oh no, it's like I just know that girl's gonna do this, or something. There's going to be something, but
I love that.
It's easy. Not to say that it doesn't have to be hard or complicated. It's not a bad thing, but I'm just saying like it's not. When your brain's like overworked and you're just like. But you want to read something, you need something that's not going to be like, let me work for this story here. The space novel is going to just like consume you because it's easy to get hooked in the story and continue with the characters, and it's not going to overwork your already overworked.
And that's what I want, that's the kind of story that I like to read. So that's the kind of story I want to write, so hopefully people like it, It's a crazy time right now. I mean, there's so many books out there. It's hard to be seen and be heard over all the other angsty, sexy, wild, crazy books that are out there. You put my sweet little contemporary out there, and it's sort of people like, well, I'll get to that. So
right.
I'd like to find a way to make them really want to get it, but I don't know how to make that happen yet. Maybe someday.
Christmas.
Yeah.
It's coming.
Hallmark, please, just please send me that
Put me on the map and give me a date.
please. It's gonna be so much fun. We may have to Facebook Live like a viewing party or something. That could be fun.
That would be so much fun.
That could be fun. You may have to
But
drive.
once you find out dates, you could always have a premiere party somewhere in where you live. And then, not necessarily at your house, but maybe you can contact somewhere that has televisions or whatever, like a sports bar, but do it, like, see if they would host a party for I don't know, like, it depends on their, not necessarily a sports bar, but, someplace that would do a.
My mom's looking into that because that's what she wants, because she was like, you need to have a viewing party. And like, you need more than one TV. Actually, I want to see the movie first by myself so that I know what to expect. So if anything has changed drastically, I'm prepared for it, because I don't want to cry in front of everybody,
Right. Like, they butchered my story. Mm-hmm.
I don't think that they will, but, I want to view it privately first.
Right, especially if they've already changed character name. Sure that they.
Exactly. So I'm going to need to know going in, what's happening. So yeah, Christmas is coming. Lots of books are coming. It's, really, what else have I got? So what do we got? October. Oh, so starting next week, Noelle Adams and I are re-releasing our Protector series. Books 1 and 2 are going to get re-released on the 9th. Books 3 and 4 will get re-released on the 30th. Then Holiday Spice comes out October 3rd. I'll have a Christmas novella that has no title yet. It's sometime in November. And then I'm in a 7 Brides for 7 Soldiers series. That my book in that series will come out December 12th. So I got a lot of stuff between now and the end of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah. Makes my brain hurt. I need cake now.
You need a vacation.
I do. I need that too. Not getting it anytime soon.
Well,
we'll see. We'll see. Eventually I'll get to go on vacation. Going down to Florida for my in-laws' 60th wedding anniversary in September. So maybe I can relax during that weekend. We'll see. Who knows?
Laura told her husband that you were trying to go to an opportunity with dinner, and he said, nah.
Oh.
She have to keep working on it. He doesn't like to go anywhere.
Then he's not invited. He's not invited to the dinner.
He has to stay at home.
That's right. That's what I'm saying. Now he ruined it. Now he can't come. But
all right. With my family's in the neighborhood,
yeah,
they're bombarding in here like elephants. So.
I am so glad that you invited me to do this. I'm so sorry about the computer getting shut off.
That's my fault. I'll take credit. Laura, I'll bring on Laura. We'll take credit for it.
Anna, for wanting to look at my bookshelves.
Yes, because we want to see all those pretty stuff. But thank you. So everybody, if you're in Raleigh, if you're in Delaware, if you are in Maryland, you have,
up and down the East Coast.
or Florida.
That's right.
Or Florida, Orlando. You've got 4 places to find Samantha Chase this year.
That's right. Come see me.
Or you can come see her in New York next August. New York.
For my cookie if you do, because I don't get them down here.
There you go.
Exactly. So go and take care of your family, and we'll be talking soon.
Most definitely.
All righty. Well, thank you, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate it, especially last minute.
It's all good. Anytime. I'm available. I'm your girl.
Yay.
I'll talk to you soon.
Alrighty. Okay. Bye-bye. Good night, everybody.
Bye.